Hello, YouTube. Here's another story from Breitbart. This is Mark King, and this is by Chris Tomlinson. Stockholm no-go suburb most affected by virus. Okay, so in case you don't know, right? Well, the reason I'm doing this story is like the media doesn't shed enough light on this stuff. They're flipping evil, right? They kind of avoid the truth by ignoring things or lying straight out, right? This is why they're considered fake news, right? They're terrible at their jobs, absolutely terrible. A lot of these writers, I believe, never went to journalism school. They just write they just write how they would write regular essays, essentially, you know. Anyway, not Breitbart. Breitbart actually has really solid reporters. You can tell by their write. Anyway, let me not focus on that. Let's get the story. So, Stockholm suburb of Rinkeby Kista has become the area most affected by the virus in Swedish capital. Okay, figures released Stockholm region show that both Rinkeby Kista and Spagna Tinsta has seen more cases of the virus per capita than any other area of the city, with having 47 cases per 10,000. Physician Profalen at the Infection Protection Stockholm comment the figure, telling broadcaster SVT. Previously, we have reported an overrepresentation of the number of infected persons per 10,000, mainly the districts of Spagna Tista and Rybinski Kista. Unfortunately, that seemed to hold true. So, according to no special measures suggested so far, so-called vulnerable areas, which boost high migrant backgrounds, illegals. Um, so essentially, right? So okay, so what this is going to be is migrants mostly affected, and they're going to claim it's something else besides them. So let's see how this goes. Okay, okay, here we are. Right, so here we go. From the broadcasters, radio had revealed that the Somali community in Stockholm had been particularly affected by the virus, with speculation that language differences may have contributed to the high confirmed infection rate. Look, when you invite people here, right, it used to be you had to know like English, for example. You have to know Swedish to get into Sweden, and it just these people are mad, they're power hungry, and they're willing to sacrifice the middle class and the poor of their own country simply to get votes. You know, it's I mean it's just it's something that should be talked about and debated a lot. Now again, the reason they probably don't debate it is because they know that they lost. This is why I think they know that they lost, and there's no point in debating. Is now just pushing totalitarianism. So your ideas are wrong, even though it's backed up by statistical facts. Statistical facts, you know, if you have these immigrants who don't know English, they it tends to lead to destruction of the community. Okay, so on March 25th, the broadcast reports 6 of the 15. That was March 25th, right? So since then, the numbers have surged. On Wednesday, the Swedish authorities have reported an increase of 77, leading to a total of nearly 700 fatal cases of the virus. 700. And I don't think they've. Yeah, there it is, right there. So Sweden has been one of the few countries in Europe not to enact strict lockdown measures because they're insane. They're insane. They've been run by a feminist government, and this is where it leads. It's going to lead to destruction, partly due to limitation in what the government can do under current Swedish law. They're the government, you know. Limitations. Okay. This week, Sweden has paved the way for much stricter general lockdown, despite concerns of opposing parties in parliament. You have to have strict lockdowns on this. Okay, if every country is doing it, every country is sacrificing their economy. Something big is going on. That's the way it goes. You have to use logic here. Know that it's something bigger than probably that the governments are telling you. So yeah, I just want to shed light on the story because you see these bunch of no-go zones, and Americans don't really talk about it because they're afraid. They're not. They're either afraid or they they're trying to push a agenda. Most likely, it's agenda. Could be no. I believe a lot of people who write these articles, they're very untalented. The people like who don't have no training in journalism, because you see the writings, they use these big paragraphs and just very wordy. It's one of the rules about when you have journalism writing, you keep it kind of short, like paragraphs. Anyway, it's a nice story. I'll post it in the description. Share, save, subscribe. The usual story. Thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed. And just you know, yeah, watch the story be ignored by journalists.